didn't know anyone. He didn't know whether he should walk right or left. Some stranger put him on a Greyhound bus and shipped him off to Butler, Pennsylvania. And they were shocked. There was Sally Agarwal, who was a real down-home Midwest American woman. Srila Prabhupada decided, I'm going to study Sally very carefully. And from doing this, I'm going to understand how Americans think, what they like, what they don't like, what is their values, how they communicate. This was like this training ground of sharing the message of pure devotion in the West. He stayed there about a month. He wasn't discouraged. What am I doing here? He was seeing every situation as an opportunity to serve his Guruji. And then to New York City. And just a few days ago, I was with Janaki Devi. She was Prabhupada's first female disciple. And she explained how Prabhupada was living in the Bowery, way up, so many flights of steps. With this very ordinary, downtrodden, counterculture type of person who invited Prabhupada to live with him in the same room. There was no divisions. And Prabhupada saw it as an opportunity. He wrote to his godbrothers back to India, we have a center now. There's a center of bhakti of Lord Chaitanya's mission here in New York. Please come and help. And then a little later, the same person, according to Janaki Devi, he had physically attacked Prabhupada with the intent to kill him. Because he was on LSD and he was going crazy. And he couldn't find his soap, and he thought Prabhupada used his soap. Prabhupada had to leave the place. He was 71 years old. And in the middle of the night, he knocked on Janaki and Mukunda's door, and they were just new people. They weren't even devotees yet. They were just acquaintances. And asked if he could stay with them, because he had nowhere to go. Never discouraged, because his heart was overflooding so deeply with compassion and concern for every living being. Our God sister Urvasi Devi told that beautiful story about thousands of devotees gathered around Srila Prabhupada at the most historical moment of his temple in Vrindavan being opened. And he was spending a lot of energy trying to find that little girl who brought her mother's guava jam for him to eat. There was such simplicity and such compassion. Saying, I wrote a letter. And my mother used to make me the same jam. This was our qualification, our only qualification. Srila Prabhupada crossed 2 oceans to reach the Western world. But those oceans were like the quantity of water contained in a footprint of a calf compared to the Karuna Sindhu, the ocean of compassion that he had in his heart and he wanted to flood the world with. Let us never forget our only qualification, Srila Prabhupada's love. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Maharaj. I would like to ask Mother Shrisha to say a few words.